Guys, I'm back in sunny Northampton, going out shopping for the day. I thought I'd take us for a drive round. I got this tiny little Peugeot car. I think it's a 107, but you can tell how much interest I've taken it. But I got this for work. It couldn't be any more basic. Well, I'll say that. It's got air conditioning and a radio. But I went for the smallest, cheapest car I could get away with, because I literally only use it for work, and obviously my main house is Spain. So this is literally used for going to Warrington and London now and again. I've got a solar panel down there as a backup, because obviously it sits up a lot, and then I've got this little solar phone charger one as well. But I was actually looking for that, because I wasn't sure where I left it. We're going to take a drive up to Six Ways. Rugby's on today by the looks of it. One of the things I want to mention, because it's I think it's probably one of the most important things, is getting off your backside. I know a lot of you guys, the same as myself, you get stuck in your day-to-day stuff, but you then can't grumble that things don't change or improve. Because like today, I could have sat at the house because it's freezing, it's miserable, but instead it's like, no, get up, go shopping, maybe pop into the town because I've got some Christmas fair thing on. Do something at least, even if I'm not studying or something, do something. And it's so important that even if, because you think, well, it's not exciting, is it, going shopping and stuff? Well, gets my steps in, if nothing else. It's an important thing, because you're still doing your fitness stuff, and you're not overdoing it, because a lot of the stuff is changed over the years. Because let's face it, a lot of people used to walk to work, a lot of people used to walk the kids to school, a lot of people used to spend more time outdoors. Used to go into town on a Saturday. A lot of it was walking, it wasn't driving everywhere. But then you look at the amount of food that is now processed compared to fresh. It's gone, off the charts type thing. This is what I was sort of saying to the missus of the day, even when they're talking about this bloody vegan stuff. How much of it's not processed? Because to me it looks about at least 90% is processed, unless it's a fruit or something. I know it sounds a bit much, but the point being, I'm sort of saying that we do have too much processed food in our diets, and that's been a change probably since World War II, when they started to look at how to produce things cheaply, and that sort of evolved. But I'm sure it congests our systems up and helps make us fatter than if we were having raw ingredients. When even you look at chips, we used to get a sack of Spuds once a week. Now you'll get triple fried frozen chips and about 20 different varieties in the supermarket. It's a potato, but what have they added to it? And that's where you sort of look at it and go, well, they're messing around with so much food out there. Maybe even pay to peel a spud, I don't know. But we started off with one thing, and but the reason I was sort of bringing it up is just to sort of say, be aware that diets have changed. A lot of stuff that's, some people are like, oh, I don't know why I put on weight, I don't eat that much. It's often what you eat, not how much you're eating. It's, whether it digests easy enough. Don't get me wrong, I know when I'm eating the wrong stuff. It's normally when I'm eating nice juicy steaks and stuff. I know it's going to take me time to get rid of it, but I don't do it every day. And I do work hard to try and improve my diet. I mean, with the cost of living going up in Spain now, mortgage has just gone up, I think 2%. Thank you very much, the banks. I mean, it hasn't hit us too hard, I think it's about 90 euros or something, but the point being, it's still 90 euros you had in your pocket before. So we are looking at cutting back a little bit, you know, not looking at eating out as much, but to be fair, I know we eat out too much, so that's not too much of a negative for me, because it means I'll have to actually start cooking and stuff, which I've been avoiding. Not out of laziness, it's because when I'm in the UK I'm in a shared house, so I don't like sharing space. It's a little bit selfish like that. I like having my own area, I like having my own kitchen, you know, so it's but that's part of the old cost cutting, so that we could buy the house in Spain and get it paid off quicker, because I could get a flat, but the flat in the UK, if I'm here paying for a flat, I might as well just give up work, because I'm not here to settle, I'm here just to pay the bills. But this gets back to my point. It's moving. So we did future-proof a little bit with our costs. Like I said, I took a rental on here, which was a cheap rental. Even I've had a rent increase of like 45 quid, but it's actually still 130 quid cheaper than the place I was at previous to that. Well, what they were trying to push it up to, and I'm like, I ain't paying that. It's a fucking room. So it's a small room. So yeah, still on plan. Conservatory I've sorted my budget out for, so that's still on plan as well. That's another 12k. I wasn't expecting to be that much, but hey ho, it's got to get done, because that's my office space. Without it I can't actually work from Spain. I need it. Not want it, I need it, you know, because I actually need an area I can actually dedicate to. One of the important things I want to say though is you've got to keep pushing forward, and if you see you're doing it, I'll be honest, I used to do it, I've got the heaters on my face, I used to do it when I could see I was watching TV. I start thinking, what are you doing? You've got more important things to be doing. And it's why you'll see a lot of wealthier people don't even have a TV. I've got to admit, with the COVID stuff, it does get you into a rut very easily, because you can't go anywhere, couldn't do anything, and now you've got to reverse some of those bad habits that you picked up. It takes time. But I just want to sort of push out there, you're not alone. Hence, like today, I'm videoing me going shopping. Mundane, nothing exciting, but at the same time, you get to see the exciting North Africa. So, would I still recommend moving to Spain? Well, for me, yeah, the answer's 100% yes. You've got the flexibility of travelling Europe. You've got the flexibility of good weather most of the time. Cost of living isn't too bad compared to what I find in the UK. You know, it's cheaper to live there. If you're on a nomad lifestyle, sorry, I can tell I've got a sore throat this morning, talking too much in a cold car. The nomadic lifestyle, it helps keep your costs down, and the infrastructure is good where we are. You know, got super fast internet, etc. I mean, it's ideal for remote working. In fact, it's better infrastructure than I've got where I am in the UK. Is there any negatives to it? Oh, I think the negatives trying to get companies to accept it. My thoughts on the cost of living crisis. Like I said, I've seen my own costs go up. I've probably lost about an extra £3,000 to £4,000 a year easily. But that's sort of compensated by the fact that I have a decent salary, plus I had a company car last year which was costing me £300–400 a month in like tax sacrifices and other stuff. So this one's actually, I'm getting paid about, I think it's 600 quid a month for having it, in comparison, plus I get paid my mileage, so mine's sort of balanced out. But when people say I can't see it, it's probably because of where you sit in society, because the reality is, if you're on Benefit Britain budgets, rents have gone up, the benefits haven't. I think looking at, I think it's called the family tax credit or whatever it is these days, universal credit, whatever name they want to call benefits this week. Last year, I think the average person or household had £15 a week spare. This year it's minus 72 pence, which basically means these people are actually moving into debt. It's unsustainable. And I get it. I mean, I do get it. I mean, it's, you know, for me, it's a bit out my bit out my zone, simply because it's I haven't been financially skint since my student years, but I do get it, and I do see it, you know, with other people, and it does make me, you know, when people say, well, they need to stop drinking expensive coffees and ordering takeaways and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these people don't actually do that. You're talking more where I sit in society, which I'm not going to be impacted to that level. Don't get me wrong, every time they see me have somebody on from a benefits thing, it's always a new sofa and a big TV, which I assume they've got on credit. A lot of the problems they have is debt orientated. Poor money management's another major issue. Where are they going? A lot of these people are not very good with money and never have been. Don't go all the way around, go straight. You're an idiot. If you went down to the next level, okay, could have just gone down there and come out, but never mind. And where's this car going? What are they doing? Oh my god, bad driving. I cut out the 2 minutes of them backwards and forwards, because they come out with disabled bay, I'm sure they did. I'll just reverse straight in here. Tiny car, no issues parking. Yeah, because they were in the disabled bay outside of the shop originally. Anyway, I brought my shopping bag today. Yeah, back on with the cost of living. I was trying to escape. This car's coming in from everywhere. He wants my space, she wants in that space. Let's get out of it. Yeah, I mean, I've got to admit, these Costa coffees are way overpriced. And one of the things I bought recently is actually coffee sachets, which are a bit like a tea bag. You just shove in the what do you call it? Shove it in the hot water for 3 minutes, which I'm finding them quite tasty, to be fair. I don't think they're as strong, don't get me wrong, but I'm finding that, I don't know how much they are, probably about 50 pence a bag, which is still expensive, but it's still cheaper than £5, which is obviously, you can start getting into Costa coffee type prices. Oh, look at a bit of escape, yes. It's a crazy time. We'll drive through the town centre as well. We're out of here. But yeah, I like Costa coffee, and I was just having my water, you know, because obviously I like sparkling water. As a saying of somebody I know would say, first world problems. But I've started using the cheaper water, which it's all a little bit of cost cutting here and there, but I know I've been wasting money. Because when I go back to work, you sort of get into these comfort zones because you're working alongside other people with a lot of the habits, because it sort of goes with, you know, swapping coffees. You buy one day, they buy another, all that type of stuff. And now I spend most of my time alone. I can drop a lot of that stuff off. I'm thinking I'm being extremely thrifty at the minute. It's actually because I want to pay an extra $500 a month on the mortgage. Because let's face it, I don't want to be in this sort of bleak environment longer than I need to. So the quicker I pay the mortgage off, the better. And like I said, with the interest rates going up again, that's kick-started that. I mean, I've paid an extra 20 grand off this year already, but I'm now sitting there going, you need to pay more. So currently we've got about, I think, 64 grand to pay, and that's what my main focus is on. So you're sort of going, wow, you can do without your Costa coffees, that's an extra X amount a month. You can do without this, that's an extra X a month. Eating out, you can save probably 400 a month. And then you just do that for the short term so you can get ahead, get the mortgage paid, reduce the interest. Everyone's a winner.